Hi there, this continues our series on the Bigcommerce version 2 import process, and this is mod 4 of the process. So picking up where we left off with mod 3, where we uploaded and downloaded and uploaded all of the images and PDF files, and I have all that process. That's what mod 3 was about. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to our spreadsheet and select the tab and move our copy and create a copy and move to end and that, and then rename this, and that will become mod 4. All right, good. Now for mod 4, this is going to be predominantly creating the short description or cleaning it up, and creating the product name column and the categorization process. But before we start that, we need to clean up the gobbledygook of the upload and download process. These columns that we no longer need in mod 4 because they're not going to be needed going forward. So we can delete all of these upload status fields and unnecessary stuff. We do, of course, want to keep the file names. Those will be used towards the end of the process. So we'll just go ahead and delete the file size and upload status and the URLs. We don't need the download URLs anymore. Don't need any of that junk. As I said, keep the file names, delete the URLs. Okay, so after we have that cleanup, this should be what's left, just the image file names, spec file names, install file names for future use. Now turning back over here to going back to the front of the worksheet, and luckily this vendor provided us a short description field, which we're going to work with. Now we use the short description to create the product name field, which is a concatenation of a modified version of the short description with the product code SQ on front. And what we want to do here is, in order to increase the readability of the products on the e-commerce site, we want the descriptions to ideally be no more than about 60 characters long. So we've got to create a length field in there and run some programs to shorten up the descriptions so that they're 60 characters before we do the concatenation process. And in Excel, the formula is equals length and K2. Close that. That gives us 90 characters. Then we fill down the whole thing. All right. And then for readability, we'll sort it out by length so that we can make more sense of it. So sort it by length from smallest to largest. All right, good. And now we go over here and we can see that the very first record has no description, so it's a length 0. Now, ordinarily, if you have a short description column and a long description column, and some has information, other ones don't, as we can see over here, we have quite a few that there's a short description, but there's no long description. We can fill in the blanks, and this can be done at some later point in the process where, okay, we have no long description, but we'll need it later, so we'll copy out a short description and fill it in there. So better short than nothing. And you can cross-pollinate. So if you got something with no short descriptions, fill in the long description, and we'll shorten it up, or vice versa. Since we don't have a short or long description on this one item, and I did the research on it, and it's a stupid rubber gasket we'll never sell anyway, so or Oh, we've got no descriptive information. And so I'm just gonna make an executive decision and delete that record, because if they don't know what it is, we can't sell it. All right, so now we see here that some of these are way short, uh, but as we get towards the end, yeah, we've got plenty that are 146 characters, so that's no bueno. So we run a program. Of course, we'd run a program for everything. And in this case, the program is called description shorten to a certain number of characters. Uh, and so this will truncate this thing appropriately. So let's go ahead and run that real quick. And go ahead and enter the column for the short description, which is K. This program is, of course, adjustable. We're going to tell it 60 characters, not max 300. And bingo, bango, bongo. And it's not going to hit exactly 60 because it's trying not to truncate words in the middle of things. So it's done a pretty good job here. There's no larger than 71, which, okay, good. Now, of course, this is not perfect, so there's going to be some artifacts to want to clean up as well, but don't waste too much time on it. So this is a fair bit of just a little quick eyeballing, and here we have a straggler or on the end of this, so to make this more readable, because just type one or wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Little cleanup like that. There's a variety of little programs to remove last character, or remove a straggler word, or truncate things, or whichever. And those programs will be discussed at a different time. It's going to be a different combination you'd use in each case. Luckily, there's not a whole lot to clean up here. Now, the next step here after you shorten it is you want to clean up some leading, trailing spaces and garbage characters, like you'll see here the right symbol. That is a no-no. That fouls things up, so we want to take out the copyright symbol. And here we do a simple find replace and put in that symbol and replace it with nothing until it replace all. And who knows why it did that. We'll check it again. Sometimes when Excel does that, you have to close the program and restart it. So we've done that. Now these right symbols are going to be in the long description as well. So best, while we're thinking of it, is to go ahead and clobber those too. And yeah, lo and behold, it does. Okay, good. And then final thing, we'll want to remove leading and trailing spaces, which we use able bits on that. Trim spaces, leading and trailing. Good at that. And sometimes there's garbage characters, and we use able bits again, and change case. Oops, not extract. Remove. Remove characters. Remove non-printing characters. And okay, and it didn't find any, and so that's good. All right, once we've got the short descriptions cleaned up as well as we can, is what makes sense. Basically, you want it to be readable somewhat. Then we run our next program, which is Excel create product name. And we go ahead and do that. And it's going to ask for the SKU field. Okay, so that's B. And it's going to ask where the short description field is, and that's L. And before we run this, of course, we need a place where we're going to put the information. So we've created a blank column at the front of short description and named it product name, so that this can dump the results too. So there's the short description, and okay, here's where we enter in this blank column for our results, so we're not overwriting our short description. And so we do OK, and then bango. All right, this program is usually pretty good, but you know, give it a quick eyeball again to see that what it's done is readable and rational, and it's supposed to put in the SKU and then a couple of spaces. 2 spaces seems to work better for readability, and then the modified short description. And just do a quick look of that, and does it look clean enough? And okay, that part's good. So once product name is done, now we go to the next step, which is the product categorization. Every vendor usually has some column or combination of columns for grouping the parts, which of course, if there's an existing one, then we'll rename it category, and we'll overwrite this information with our categories. So of course we want to go ahead and sort, and since we have vendor provided categories, we're going to sort by the categories. So data, data, sort, and sort by category A to Z. Okay, then now that we have these products grouped by whatever the manufacturer felt the category was, now we can go ahead and open up our product categories guide spreadsheet and rename these things according to what fits with our Bigcommerce categories. In this case, these are timers, so everything's going to be under pretty much control and automation. And so we just take a look at what category that they used here and do the best approximate to ours. In this case, 24-hour mechanical timers is going to fit under mechanical timers. So we don't do typos, copy the BC category exactly and paste into the appropriate place. So these are all mechanical timers, so and done. And we just do that all the way through the spreadsheet. Best guess you can come up with. Sometimes if the category doesn't make enough sense, you have to actually read the short description and get a better idea of what the hell this part is until you get it all. When in doubt, it usually becomes an accessory or in this case, maybe just timer. So we just do this process all the way down until we're done. Okay, after much tinkering around, you should end up with categories that look something like this when you are done. Once again, this is more art than science, and use the product categories spreadsheet for the reference. Copy and paste so that you don't do typos. When you do the BC import, it is extremely sensitive. It has to be exact. If you put a space differently, if you put a comma differently, if it's uppercase instead of lowercase, when you import these products, you will create a whole new category and classify everything under there, and it is a mess to clean up. Not impossible, but just a time waster. So don't do it. And as a final step, we'll go ahead and resort this spreadsheet back to its original product code SKU sort. So data sort. Co A to Z. All right. And that completes the Mod 4 step of the V2 import process, which dealt with modifying and cleaning up the short descriptions, creating the product name, and categorizing the products. And now we will move on to step Mod 4. Thank you.